Howdy, howdy, fellas. Oh man, it's been a minute, but got a match in the Michelangelo. I tell you, it's update week. It's expected, but oh boy, this week has been rough. Particularly this my tier 8 premium wins. I think I've got 3 at this game, and I've played like 8. I really was just considering going to AI because man, every match this week has been like this. You'll see. You'll see. But, stay tuned till the end. There's some goodness in here, but it's just I get it. I get it. Like, update, everybody wants to check out the new stuff. We've got the War Tales PvE mode, so I'm sure, lots of people are checking that out. I certainly have been. I think I'm going to make a video of my kind of, what is possible in this match. But anyway, we're here on Scandinavia. Michelangelo is a standard Revel build, what I think a lot of people would run on this. I have the properly meticulous instead of the extra heals. I don't know, I go back and forth, but yeah, Hipper Haruna, kind of gold standard secondary build. So you can see off to the start, we've got a pretty balanced match. Radar cruiser on each team, 3 destroyers. They've got 3 cruisers, we've got 2 cruisers, but there's no nonsense in the matchmaking that immediately starts. Based on the team setup, I'm pretty sure there's a Vampire 2 coming into A. I looked at the map, I can see that it looks like that crawling smoke. It just doesn't feel like the Dalian is the new the campaign ship, so somebody keeping the servers on. Thanks for that. Oh hey, Sumner goes down. That's awesome. It actually was the Sumner that popped that smoke. Not exactly what I expected, but again, I've said this before, like, a lot of times when I'm playing the matches, I try to predict what is happening, like, oh, I look at the smoke, maybe there's a Vampire 2 going crawling smoke, go again, like, that would kind of make sense, so, like, a little bit expecting that's what it is, but I'm also not generally... Bye, Hayate, I guess you're done too. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like, I try to make these kind of predictions about what's going on based on the evidence that I have, the information. You can kind of see how different ships might be playing it, but I'm also not going like all in on that prediction because you can be wrong. That was a Sumner. Oops, grouping on that salvo was nice. Oh, this hit on the Schlieffen is actually one of the reasons that I run HE. Running out the damage control parties or sticking a permanent fire on things like the German battle cruisers, I actually played a Marco Polo match the other day where I really tried to get the sap to work, and I'm just like, just doesn't work for me on the bigger caliber guns, like not being able to do that full, whatever, 1/3 damage to the destroyers. Like, it just doesn't do it for me. You can see the Schlieffen is still burning. Maybe the sap would have hit him in the nose for a similar amount of damage, but again, I just consistently end up in these scenarios where I am actually glad that I have the HE on. So, still running the HE. I may change my mind at some point if I ever kind of crack the code on the larger caliber sap guns, but so far I enjoy the 152s and 203s that some of the other ships have, but the 320s on this guy and then the 406s on the Marco Polo. It's the Deloria that has the what is that, 457 millimeter. They're just like, I don't know, it just doesn't quite do what I wanted to do. I inevitably end up in a situation where I've got like a broadside battleship and I'd rather just shoot it with AP than SAP. I feel like the big caliber SAP guns works best against kind of chunky cruisers, or actually any cruiser really. I just don't fight a lot of those. I imagine a lot of other people see this. Occasionally you'll get a cruiser-heavy match, but as in this one, there's, 5 cruisers and a bunch of other, more of other ships. So, yeah, anyway, still got the HE. This shot I was a little disappointed in. I probably could have predicted that this Napoli was going to be backing up. Like, he's already stopped, he was going forward. Like, I should have pulled that one back a little bit, so only get 1 pin in the nose. Earlier, I also, the shot I took on the Vampire 2 earlier, I kind of knew he was going to go forward, and honestly just trigger happy, pulled the trigger before I readjusted my aim. You could probably tell that I was like, oh, shoot it. Yeah, so this thing, I need to go check out the armor on this thing. I kind of assumed that it's armored more or less like the rest of the tech tree lines, very slightly armored. But I got like one overpin, one shatter, and one bounce. So it was a little less than I was expecting. Oh, I got distracted by talking about my HE. Look at this teams. We had 5 ships gone, now 6. Five ships gone at 4 minutes, 6 ships gone at 5 minutes, and it's just like, what is happening? Every single tier 8 match that I played, you see, like, I've done nothing at this point. I've been, I helped set the fire on the Schlieffen, and I'm just kind of like waiting for the opportunity to do something, and it's just, where is the team? Where is the rest of the team? The whole team is gone. And it's just, I had a match in the Republic where I did like 9,000 damage to a Lucian, and the game ended on points at like 5 minutes. So I sunk the only red ship in the game with 9,000 damage. I was like in a cap, contesting a cap, getting ready to fight I think it was a main, not a Vermont. Yeah, it was a main. And the match ended on points. And it's just like, what do you even do? It's nuts. It's nuts. But here, our Daring, bless his heart, is like behind the Vermont. The Vermont YOLO'd in. At least he did get the Dalian. I mean, I think he probably felt some of what I'm feeling at this point. It's just like frustration. This match is over. Like, whatever. Like, nothing even matters at this point. Let me just get the ship. I honestly can't blame him for that. Realistically, that's not the most winningest play, but the frustration is real sometimes, and especially like given that Republic match, the match might be over in just a second. I think because I did cap this zone. Oh yeah, that was actually something that I did. I successfully capped this zone while we pushed the rest of the stuff out, so I did do something. But anyway, our team was gone, and now, okay, it's actually 3v4. We might have a chance. The Vermont is pretty low, but we got the destroyer off. We see there's another destroyer in C. I'm hopeful to get this Yamato. Yeah, there goes the Vermont. He did something, so don't fault him too much. I wish the Daring had been a little more forward from the Vermont. It felt like the Vermont was the one kind of leading the charge there, which is not really what you want. But it is what it is. You can't change it. Here, I think in retrospect I kind of get away with it a little bit here. There probably was a space for me to sit behind this island, but then also I'm a little nervous. Right here, the ships that were in D pop up, and so I was a little nervous they were about to be coming. They were further around the island, pushing through C. So I did it. I would rather engage this Yamato by itself and have this island to my right side for cover. So that's part of the reason that I'm pushing in on this Yamato. I'm also hopeful, again, not the best with torpedoes, but hopefully I can get some in. If I get turned, okay, kind of got away with it a little bit there. The Michelangelo can make some of those turns, but it's got that big squishy nose, and if you do show too much cheek, you are going to take it. But here, Yamato's burning down. My secondaries are doing their thing. In retrospect, again, I think it's this salvo. Yeah, his reload was up, and that was paid the price there. I should have just fired the forward gun that had the angle and then closed up the angle. I should not have been going for the second turret. But I'm also just nervous, like, that I'm gonna get pummeled anyway, so I'm trying to get damage off on the Yamato as fast as possible, but overturn there. I should have just used the front turret and then turned back. I'm immediately damage control partying that fire just to conserve, I guess, like, maintain control my visibility. I don't know how the destroyer is coming up from C. If he's coming up on the western flank, he might spot me with the extra I guess vision penalty from the fire. So, and again, that's not to harp too much on why I run HE on this. Like, I do think there's additional benefit to those fires, especially when you get in situations like this where every bit counts. Here, this is great. I see the Schlieffen is actually low. I'm like, oh, thank goodness it's not just a full health battleship. If the Schlieffen were full health, like, there's just no way we win this. Here, Daring did cap B, so he got the full cap. That's great. We're not just going to lose points. But it's like, dude, you saw the Salem coming like 8 minutes ago. You got to be aware that that's a radar cruiser, and he's sitting right there. I kind of went back and forth. You saw my shot selection. End up with the AP because I'm hoping this is literally what I hope. the Salem would come around broadside to me, trying to get the daring, and I can get a salvo off on him. 5 hits, 2 overpins, 1 citadel. Not the best, not the worst, especially with nothing in the guns. Here, again, I was watching the Schlieffen come around. As long as he doesn't eat me through the nose, I should be all right. I don't see any of his secondaries going off. I just don't know. And then, oh my goodness, the destroyer pops out. Well, let's put the secondaries on that for if we can see him again. I'm going to try to angle to dodge any incoming torpedoes that might have been launched from his last position, but I also have to be super careful about showing too much side to the Salem, because if he does switch to AP, he can chew me up, and there it goes. I'm close enough range right now that the Salem can absolutely citadel Michelangelo, so I have to be careful with that. Solid torpedoes. Hope I'm fine. Again, and sometimes when you end up in situations like this, you just have to go for what you might get away with. You can't always make the best, most conservative play, because we've got 4 minutes left, 3 ships to sink, and I'm super low health, so we just have to do this. I think that's main guns off the Schlieffen. He's still shooting HE. That is definitely a mistake on his part. Even as low as I am, those might have been the main guns. I think those were the main guns. He needs to switch to AP. Having the HE loaded in case he found the daring, okay, I can see that, maybe. But yeah, he goes down fast, chew him up, and then, oh my goodness. This is the red destroyer. He's got a lead, but here he's launching torpedoes again, but I pretty easily dodged those. He just comes right in. Also seems to be running RGA, update week, I guess. I mean, again, I have actually totally been caught flat-footed by destroyers running RGA, the third mod slot thing that increases your detection, your guaranteed detection by 50%. So basically, he can see me at 3 kilometers, and I can only see him at 2. But it's like, dude, come on, what are you doing? I'm assuming that if he's running some crazy build, he might have torps up again, but probably not, and I can just take him out with 1 hit. And we win! We had 5 ships gone in 4 minutes, and we win. And it's just, oh, guys, update week. What are you gonna do?